Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. We are now on question 3, and question 3 requires us to simplify the following. We have A up to F. So what I will tell you about simplifying is that here you have to apply your knowledge of what happens with like terms. Okay, and we said that like terms are supposed to add or subtract. And what are you adding? You are adding the coefficients of what? Your variables, which happen to be the same. So that's what you'll be doing. Also want to make a disclaimer that we excuse the noise you are hearing from the background and my voice. So let's look at A. A has 3x plus 7x minus 8x. And remember, I said that when you simplify, you are supposed to focus on adding your like terms, all right? And your like terms are terms which happen to have the same variable, right? And the same variable that also happens to have the same exponent. So when you look at A, we can see that we have x here, and x here. Those are like terms, right? So what we're going to do is to simply add them, right? How do we do that? We'll say 3 plus 7. And when we say 3 plus 7, we start here, right? We know BODMAS. Addition comes before subtraction. So when I say 3 plus 7, what do I get? I get 10. 10 of what? 10 of x. And then I subtract 8 from that 10. What do I remain with? I remain with 2. 2 of what? 2 of x, because I'm adding the variable of x. So that's my answer. You can do this on your calculator by simply saying, taking your coefficients as they are. You have 3, then you say plus 7, and you say minus 8. You get what? You get 2. 2 of what? 2 of x, because those are the like terms you are adding. In this case, the like terms are already grouped together because they are like terms of the same variable. Now let's go to B. For B, we have 3x plus 4b plus 2x plus 7b. So what we have to do here is firstly group like terms which happen to be similar. That makes our lives to be easier. So we can see that 3x is the first one. So we write it down, 3x, and then we go to 2x. Write it with its sign. So we have plus 2x, and then we have positive b plus 4b and positive 7b, or plus 7b. Now our like terms have been grouped together. We can finally find our answer. We start with the x's, and what we do when we add the x's, we add the coefficients of this variable of x. So we say 3 plus 2, and what we get? We get 5. 5 of what? 5 of x. So our answer is 5x. Then we go to the b's. We have 4 plus 7. 4 plus 7 is what? It is 11. 11 of what? 11 of b. So we'll write plus 11b. That is our answer. Plus 11b. So the final answer is now 5x plus 11b. And guys, I want you to make sure that whatever answer you get here, you write it as it is with its sign. So never write 5x 11b. No, you say 5x plus 11b. If the answer you got was positive, you have to put the plus sign, okay? Especially on the second term. See here how many terms we have. We have 1, 2 terms. Here how many terms do we have? We have 1 term, right? Now let's come to C. C, as you can see, has what? A bracket. And bracket means what, guys? It means multiplication. So for C, what we have to do is start off by removing our bracket. We are following BODMAS. We know that BODMAS has what? Bracket of division multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So since BODMAS is the first thing, since B, which is bracket, is the first thing that comes up, it means we have to apply that. We have to multiply what is outside the bracket with what is inside the bracket in order to remove the bracket. Does that make sense? So the first mission is to follow BODMAS, and BODMAS says we have to deal with the brackets first. How do we deal with the brackets? We start by telling ourselves that bracket means multiplication, and then after that we'll take whatever that is outside the bracket, multiply it with what's inside the bracket. Get it? Okay, let's go. This is 3 multiplied by x, and what we get when we say 3 multiplied by x, we get 3x, and then we say 3 multiplied by positive 2. What we get? We get a positive 6. Then we come here, we're done. We've taken this 3, multiplied everything that is inside the bracket with the 3. Now we are moving to the negative 5x. So we are going to say negative 5x multiplied by x, and this should give us negative 5x squared. Why are we getting x squared? It's because according to the laws of exponents, if I'm multiplying two bases that are the same, then the exponents are going to add. Hence we have x squared. So it's more like I'm saying 5x to the power of 1 multiplied by, or negative 5x to the power of 1 multiplied by x to the power of 1. Here we know that there is a 1. So if I'm only focusing on the numbers, I'm saying negative 5 multiplied by 1, I get negative 5. And then when I say x to the power of 1 multiplied by x to the power of 1, I get x to the power of 2, which comes from here, whereby the exponents of the same base added, okay, under the same base. Does it make sense? And now we move on to negative 5x multiplied by negative 3. So the answer here is going to be positive 15x. You see that? And from here now we are going to look at our like terms, and our like terms here are going to be, let's see, we have 3x, we have 15x. But before we do that, let's start by writing this one first. Remember I said you should always start with the variable that has the highest exponent. So this is the highest exponent, so we'll write negative 5x squared, and then from there we follow with this one like terms. We have 3x plus 15x. What is 3 plus 15? It's 18. 18 of what? 18 of x. And then we have this positive 6, which is a constant. There's no other constant, so we write the positive 6 as it is, and this becomes our final answer. Negative 5x squared plus 18x plus 6. That's our final answer. Okay, and we resolved it by starting with removing the brackets, saying 3 multiplied by x got the 3x, 3 multiplied by 2 got the 6. Then we came this side, said negative 5x multiplied by x got negative 5x squared, and then we said negative 5x multiplied by negative 3x, and we got a positive 15x. From there we grouped our like terms together, or added them, which were 3x and 15x. The ones that do not have like terms, we dropped them down as they are. Hope that made sense. Now let's go to D. D requires us to simply group our like terms first. So I have x cubed, I'm going to put it here, x cubed. Then I have plus 4x cubed, put it there. And then I have, okay, I think I need to write this down on the side. Let me just write D here. So d is x cubed minus 2x plus 4x cubed minus 3x. Now what we're going to do is group our like terms together. That's step number 1. So what I'll have is what we're going to have is x cubed, then excuse me guys, we'll have x cubed. Do we have another x cubed? Yes we do. It's 4x cubed, so I put it down here, 4x cubed, and then I have a negative 2x, and I also have a negative 3x. I've now grouped my like terms together. These ones are like terms because they are both x cubed. These are like terms because they are both x's. Can you see that? Now, when we proceed, we simply add the coefficients. We know that if there's no number here, it means there is a 1. So when I say 1 plus 4, what do I get? I get a 5. 5 of what? 5 of x cubed. It means I have 5x cubed. You see that? That's the first part. And then now we move on to this one. We say negative 2 minus negative 3. And we should get negative 5x. Negative 5 of what? If I say negative 2 minus 3, I get negative 5. Negative 5 of what? X. You can always do this on the calculator by simply saying negative 2 minus 3, and you get negative 5. Negative 5 of what? X. Can you see that? And we are done with D. Now let's move on to E. So E requires us to know our exponents. We have 12x cubed, then y to the power 4 divided by 18xy cubed. Okay, this one requires us to approach it in this manner. First of all, we have a 12 over 18. These are numbers that can divide each other. So because 18 can go into 12, we look at the biggest number that can go into both these numbers, and that number is what? It is 6. How many times does 6 go into 12? It goes 2 times. How many times does it go into 18? It goes 3 times. Okay, you can always do this with a calculator again, guys. I want you to type with your head first, but you can try. You can do it with a calculator. So I have a fraction which is 12 divided by 18, or 12 over 18, and then I get a 2 over 3. You see, got it. 2 over 3. Put it down here. 2 over 3. You see that? And then this is what's going to happen next. We have a division here, and there's a law of exponent which says that if I have similar bases dividing one another, then the exponents are going to subtract. Remember this law? I think it's law 2. Yes, it is law 2 of exponents. So I have similar bases dividing one another, so their exponents are supposed to subtract. That's what is going to happen here. So what I'll have, the ones that are at the top, I always write them down as they are. So I will start with x cubed, and we know here there's a 1, right? I'm going to subtract that 1 from there. Another way of explaining this is that if this one was positive at the bottom, it's going to become negative at the top, which is what has happened here. You see, it was positive at the bottom and now it's negative, this exponent. Then we write this y to the power 4, bring this one up. You see that it's positive. So when it gets here, it becomes a negative 3. Then from there, we write 2x, and then we say, what is 3 minus 1. It is 2, meaning that we now remain with 2x squared, and then we write y. And then we come here. What is 4 minus 3? It is 1. We ever write the 1? No, but you can write the 1 if you want. You can write the 1 if you want. I'll write it for now, just to make sure you understand the answer. Do you see at the bottom what we have? We have 3. So I say divided by 3. And this is my final answer. Get it? Let's move on now to F. For F, we have negative 3. Inside the brackets, we have 2xy squared. And then outside the bracket, we have an exponent of 2. Do you see that? Now, in order to simplify this one, this is what you do first, guys. Remember BODMAS. You start with BODMAS. You start dealing with the bracket, or rather what is inside the bracket. Okay, so this means that before we multiply with this negative 3, we are going to multiply the exponents that are inside this bracket with the exponent. Excuse me, guys. We're going to multiply the exponents that are inside the bracket with the one that is outside the bracket. And this comes from this law. 5a to the power of m, and then outside I have an exponent of n. Then my answer becomes a to the power of m times n. I shared this law with you guys. Please check it out and revise it just to see how it works. So that's what we're going to do. We know here if there's no number, it means there's a 1 even here. So it means we're going to write the negative 3 for now. The negative 3 won't work, guys, until we deal with the exponents. Okay. So I'll close it. This negative 3 is supposed to multiply with what is inside the bracket, but only after the exponents have been multiplied. So I write the base of 2 as it is, and then multiply the exponents. I say 1 multiplied by 2. What is going to be my answer? It's going to be 2. You see that? And then I go to write this base of x as it is for now. Multiply the exponents. What is 1 multiplied by 2? It is 2. And go on to write the base of y as it is. Then I say 2 multiplied by 2, I get 4. Close the bracket. Is equal to negative 3. And then I ask myself, what is 2 to the power of 2? 2 to the power of 2, guys, is 4. You can always find this on a calculator by saying 2 to the power of 2. And you get what? 4. Do you see that? So I get 4. Write the x squared as it is. Write y to the power of 4 as it is. Then close my bracket. Now I can finally remove this bracket by multiplying with this negative 3 that is outside the bracket. So I'm going to say negative 3 multiplied by 4x squared y to the power of 4. In simple terms, I'm taking this negative 3, multiplying it with this 4, and I get negative 12. Negative 12 of what? X squared y to the power of 4. And this now, guys, is my final answer. You see how we got it? That's how you deal with this particular problem. That's how you play around with exponents. Okay, let's move on to the next question on the next video. Bye bye.